What's up, y'all? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and this is a quick review of the Eachine FB90, the Fatbee. And this is it right here. As you can see, this thing looks like a tiny whooper somewhat. You can tell it's riding the wave of the success of the tiny whoop. This is it in comparison to a tiny whoop. So as you can see, it's larger than the tiny whoop, but it still has that ducted fan design there that's been having a lot of increased popularity as of lately. These ducted fans and these little FPV indoor aircrafts. But this one takes it a step further. This is a little larger, and this one went 2S. So this is a 2S tiny whoop. Well, that's what most people think when they see this thing. Like, wow, it's running on 2S. It's going to be very powerful. It has the ducted fan design, so it's a 2S tiny whoop. And it's kind of, yeah, sort of. This thing does have a 2S power system. It is more powerful than a tiny whoop. But I really don't think that this is an indoor flyer. Fact being that the ducted fan design is very flimsy. They break very easily. As you can see, this one right here broke. I mean, even with the original tiny whoop, this is my tiny whoop from tinywhoop.com. Now, my ducted fan, the spokes in between there, they actually tend to break. I've heard of stories of them breaking and all. Mine's never broke. I guess I never crashed mine that hard, but they do break. But this one, the spokes in there, they break very easy. So these things end up being very loose and vibrational when you fly if you crash, or you might end up having to do a lot of repairs to it. As you can see, I have some hot glue there on mine's there because they're just very flimsy. They break very easy. When you can just bump a wall and one of them will snap. And so this is actually my second pair of them, my second set. They do have spare parts readily available now for them, and these are my second pair. So that's one thing about it that you might consider. Also, the main issue that I had with it was vibrations. Now, I've seen mostly everybody else that I've seen review this thing have vibrational issues as well, and most people were thinking that it's the canopy vibrating and making noise. I also thought it was the canopy, but it's not the canopy actually. Actually, what's making it vibrate, causing those issues, is this. It comes with these stock props. These four-bladed props are still riding off the wave of the tiny whoop. The tiny whoop usually has these type of props on it. And just to show you guys some more riding the wave of the tiny whoop, these have the four-bladed props of the tiny whoop, and these are direct clones of the tiny whoop, which is an Inductrix actually, but that's a whole nother story. But yes, it did come with these four-bladed props, and these things are horribly balanced. They're unbalanced. I found that these are what's causing all of the vibration issues. Once I swapped these out for those three-bladed props there, I didn't have any more vibration issues, and the thing flies a whole lot better, has more power and everything. These props are, even the spares are just unbalanced. I don't know if it's the design or if it's just unbalanced like that, but these things vibrate terribly. So it comes with yellow ones and black ones. As you can see, I even tried cutting some of them down to two-bladed props, but they flew even worse then. And so it just isn't a good cutting or whatnot. I don't know what it is, but these things are horribly balanced. They're unbalanced. So the first thing you're going to have to do is swap it with some three-bladed props. Most people are using the Hudson style props, but I found that these work the best. These give more thrust. The leaves are bigger on the blades there, and it just seems like the perfect combination. Now, I did cut them down a little because they were rubbing a little bit every once in a while, but that's even with the stock props. They rub every once in a while. So I would recommend, if you're going to keep these, you might as well cut these down a little, just shave a tiny bit off the edge, and that gets it to spin freely without rubbing at all. And this thing flies really nice now that I have 3-bladed props on it. It has more power. It has enough power to do flips and all. And just a pretty decent flyer. You can even keep the canopy on it and no vibration with the canopy on it and all. So a pretty decent flyer. When you do modifications to it out of box, though, it's going to fly horribly with those unbalanced props on it. And it does come with this battery here, and the information rubbed off on it. But these batteries are pretty good. They provide an ample amount of power for it. It comes with 2 of them. As of now, I've misplaced the other, but it does come with 2 of these. Oh, here it is over here. So the information, it's a 400 milliamp hour 7.4 volt battery, and these, it doesn't say the discharge rate on it, but these things provide a really nice amount of power for this, and they're not too heavy. So pretty decent performance from these batteries, even though they don't have a balancing plug, so I'm worried about that. Just charging them with the provided charger, USB charger, is going to probably damage it in the long run, because you can't really use a hobby grade charger to charge it up. This is the charger that it comes with. And these look just like, they're just like the batteries that came with the what is it, the DM007? Yes, the DM007 came with batteries like this, but these batteries seem to have more punch than the DM007 batteries. These are the DM007 batteries here. I can tell because they're a little more rounded off. As you can see, these are more square, and these are rounded off a little more. Same 400 milliamp hour battery though, but the ones from the DM007, they don't have nearly as much punch as these do. So these are a lot better. When I tried to use these, it barely even punches. With these here, the stock batteries, this thing punches really well. It flies really nice. I've actually been using these batteries to power other things. And so this battery is a nice battery, even though it doesn't have a balancing cable. So that's one con against it though. This thing comes with a nice instructions manual, very nice legible English and illustrated in color and all. Oh, it does come in different versions too. You can get the Fly Sky version, the Free Sky, or you can get the DSM2. I was disappointed that it's not DSM-X, because I think DSM2 was a little old. They should start doing all DSM-X instead of DSM2, but just about the same thing. I've been flying it with the Devo 10, so no worries for me there, but I think others would probably rather have the DSM-X option. And it does come with an extra set of motors too. It comes with 2 motors actually, clockwise and counterclockwise. And one more negative that I have is this proprietary micro pin that it's using. If my camera would focus on it, it's not going to focus, I don't think. This thing is too small. Trying to get it. Okay, there it is. Just about. It's trying. And it's not going to get it. As you can see it there though, barely. It's a different type of micro pin on this motor that they have on the board, and so people have been cutting them and directly soldering them on when they do upgrades or whatnot, because these are 2S rated motors here. But I found that you can just depin this thing. You can just lift up these little white parts here and just swap the micro pin, and be able to use like a SpinTech motor or micro motor warehouse motor or whatnot. I think I'm going to do a chop shop on it to show you guys, because I am thinking about upgrading the motors on this. because this is a very worthy flyer for it now that I have put tri-blades on it and all. And this is just a really awesome flyer. I'm thinking that I'm going to just chop these hoops off of it and just have it as just a bumblebee flyer. I'll keep the canopy on it. The canopy, I think, is a good idea. It protects everything inside the board and all. I even feel confident in flying it in worse weather with this canopy on it, because this canopy is pretty protective, it seems. It doesn't have any openings on the top or anything, and it covers the whole body. Only the bottom is exposed, and usually things don't get underneath it. Just the camera there has a little open there. The camera is pretty decent too. Camera is nice, and I imagine that you might not get as good reception with the canopy on it, but being that I fly with a Devo, I get exceptional reception with it. But I'm guessing if you're using one of those little Spectrum controllers or whatnot, you might have problems with that, with range. But I haven't experienced any problems with the Devo 10. And that's it. Let's go check this thing out in the quick flight. I'm a little hesitant to take this thing out right now because we're having a winter storm, and it's a lot of wind out there, a lot of snow and all. But I'm thinking I'm gonna be courageous with this little bee and take him out there. Let's go. So here we go, crazy me out here in a snowstorm. In the middle of a snowstorm, flying a Fatbee. And so the snow is coming down, flying all about. I can barely see. It's windy, it's cold. Nobody's out but me and the Fatbee. And the Fatbee is doing quite well, actually. Better than I expected when I first took off, because the wind is really blowing here and the snow is flying about. I figured that the canopy didn't have any holes in it, so it was going to be able to protect it and all from any moisture getting in. But the reception is really bad because of the snow. You know, the interference there is because of the snow. Usually I will be able to fly to the end of this alleyway here with this. So I turned around and came back. And so you can see this thing is flying quite well outdoors. 3-bladed props still on it. And you can see here I got courageous and I did a flip. And it recovered. Didn't touch the ground or anything. So this thing is quite capable of flying outdoors. And right about here is where a gust of wind came and let me know it was time to retreat. Thanks for watching.